With Season 3 of Tekken 8 around the corner, one of the most discussed topics, besides balancing the game, is always what characters will we get for DLC in Season 3. So I decided I give possibly my suggestions or ideas, including possible guest characters. And yeah, that's what the video will be all about. So let's jump into the video. So we will do this in a classic tier maker fashion. I have a couple of tiers prepared. The top one is most likely. Then there is a chance. Then we have two guest character categories. One is guest maybe, which could be with some explanations that why I think that would be the case. Then a category of guest very unlikely, which is something I would like them to do as a guest character, but I don't know how big the chance is. And no shot will be probably everything else. Only speaking for Season 3 now. So let's start with most likely. So the first one for most likely will be Craig Murdoch. For those who don't know, Murdoch is always related to King and Armor King. And of course we have King since the beginning of Tekken 8. This season we got Armor King as a DLC. It is only a matter of time until Craig Murdoch will appear in the game, and I think Season 3 will be it. If I think about it, what he could become with the heat mechanic that we have at Tekken 8, I worry. Even though most people say that the last DLC characters that we got, like Armor King, Fakumran, and Miarizu, are somewhat balanced, which I don't agree fully, but that's a different topic. I can only imagine balancing Murdoch with heat could become very difficult. So yeah, but I think it is very likely that he will appear in Season 3. I think like there's a 90% chance if I had to put numbers on it. The next character, which I think is most likely, will be Miguel. Why Miguel? I think many of you who are inside the Tekken storyline know that what Jin did in Tekken 6 had direct impact on Miguel's life. So I think Miguel as a character would be a very, very nice, how do I say it, switch up from what we've got before, like no weapons, straight up street brawling. He has this really arrogant and very confident aura. And story-wise, it would make sense. We got a story expansion in Season 2 around the reappearance of Heihachi. And if they would make a continuation of the story in Season 3, it would make sense to put Miguel into play with his relationship with Jin. I think that's a given, and many other creators have already talked about this. So I think there is a high chance Miguel will be integrated into the game, which could be a very fun switch up regarding everything we had in the past, weapons, guns, everything. Yeah, so I think Miguel is very, very, very likely. For my third pick, I will go with Julia. As far as I remember correctly, if I'm wrong on this, correct me in the comments, but Julia, or not Julia, but Michelle, her mother was somewhat had a correlation or some connection to Ogre. And since Miarizu is basically the ancient ogre of a different continent, it would make sense to bring her into the game to have some sort of connection to Miari's, because it simply makes sense, the whole archaeology, although Julia at this point is sort of an influencer or YouTuber or whatever. So yeah, I think there is a good chance. And Julia was also very popular in Tekken 7, mostly I think because she was strong as fuck. But I think story-wise, it would also make sense to bring her into the game because of the connection with Ogre. So yeah, that would be my third pick for most likely. Next up, I want to talk about Kunimitsu. I think with Kunimitsu there is a chance that she would like be introduced in season 3, although I'm pretty sure it will not be the case. But there is a chance. She was also very popular in Tekken 7, also because she was very strong in a lot of regards. That's why I think there is a chance that Kunimitsu will appear. But like for my expectations, I don't think season 3 will be the time. Next up, there's Bob. I think Bob is like a very popular character and could also be in most likely tier, but because of the reasonings I gave for the top 3 characters, I don't think Bob will make the cut in season 3 for now. But generally speaking, there is a chance it is very likely that he will appear. The question is it in season 3 or season 4? If we will get a season 4. But yeah, other than that, Bob will be introduced into the game at some point, most definitely. So now I want to jump into the guest character category. What a word, what the fuck? Because I think that topic is very interesting. I think it is very, very, very likely that we will get a guest character in season 3. I thought about a couple. I think I have, for some I have reasoning behind it, for some I don't. And I hope it will make sense, somewhat sense. Let me start off with Terry Bogard. Terry Bogard was in Street Fighter. He is in Smash. I mean, he's in Fatal Fury. He is in King of Fighters. So basically he is like in almost every fighting game. And now Tekken would be the next step. We had Geese Howard, who is also from King of Fighters, in Tekken 7. I'm pretty sure that the majority of Tekken players don't want any more 2D fighting game characters in the game. We know that what the community wants and what the community gets often doesn't match very well. So I think there is a chance. Also, many people said or like had the assumption, because in the current battle pass there are accessories like the like the hair and the cap that reminds them of Terry Bogard, which could be a hint that he would appear soon in the game. But this could be a stretch, but there is a chance. Next up, I want to get something out of the way, and that would be Tifa Lockhart. Now, hear me out. I know the community screams for Tifa since the appearance of Noctis, because her fighting, like bare bones, no weapons, nothing, would fit so good into the game. But it is very unlikely that Bandai Namco would pay for or license 2 Final Fantasy characters. We had Clive, everyone wished for Tifa. I don't think we will get 2 Final Fantasy guest characters in a row. Maybe generally in the lifetime of Tekken 8 it could be the case. There could be made an argument for it, because the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy should finish this year, as far as I know, if I'm correct. But I think this won't happen, and this will make a lot of people sad, but I think it is very, very unlikely. Next up, for a guest character that could maybe come, Akira Yuki from Virtua Fighter. People asked Harada when he was still in the company on Twitter that they would like a guest character from Virtua Fighter, and he said something along those lines. First they have to make Virtua Fighter 6 or something, and we know Virtua Fighter 6. Do we know when it will be released? Is it 2026 or is it next year? I don't know. But I still think there is a chance somewhat. It would make sense. Also, again, this would be a character with a fighting style that is very grounded. No weapons, no energy blasts, no swords, nothing. Very bare bones martial arts, which a lot of people would like for the current Tekken 8 game, because we had a lot of bullshit for the past couple of times. And also Akira Yuki is from another 3D fighting game, so there are system mechanics that can be translated to Tekken very easily, I think. So yeah, I think there is a chance. There is definitely a good chance. Next up, guest character that is very unlikely. And I put 2 in here because they're somewhat similar, and I know a lot of anime and manga nerds will will hate me for this, but that would be Hanma Baki and Kengan Ashura from Kengan Ashura. What was his name? No, his name wasn't Kengan Ashura. Tokita Oma, that was his name. Tokita Oma, that was his name. They look very similar. If you look at them, look them up on Google Images. But Baki or Tokita Oma would be like, because we had, before Tekken 8 released, we had a character trailer for Baki which was very well done, which a lot of people thought this was real because it looked very convincing. And anime wise, this is a very like realistic option that they could go for, because again, both characters are from their respective anime and manga, like very based in martial arts. And I think they would attract a lot of new players into the game. I think Baki would be the better option because I think he is slightly more popular and more known. Would be my preferable choice. Maybe the character designers at Bandai Namco saw the trailers, or like the trailer for Baki when it was like viral on the internet. Maybe they made notes, but we don't know how easy or difficult it is to get like the licenses. So we will see. One character that is more likely to come as a guest character is Yakumo. Is his name Yakumo? I think Yakumo. I always forget his name. From Ninja Gaiden 4. Ninja Gaiden 4 is a very new game. It came out like 4 months ago or something. Like at the end of 2025. Very flashy, as we know from Ninja Gaiden games. So I don't know how well received he will be, because again, he has swords. Maybe they will give him a projectile or some shuriken that he will throw. Very fast paced, very mix up heavy, everything that we hate about current Tekken 8. But I think due to his like recency, there is a chance that Yakumo could become a guest character for Tekken. Yeah, so we will see how that will turn out. If this happens, you heard it here first. The next character is Mai, what is her name? Mai Shiranui? That ninja girl from Fatal Fury. She was also a guest character in Street Fighter 6, and basically everything I said about Terry would also apply to Mai. She is a very like, she's a poster girl. You can show her, you can use her for publicity, for marketing. She is very popular because of some pretty big arguments. Next up, Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. I would put him in guest maybe. We know that at some point last year we had a Twitter picture with Harada and Ed Boon. So they met each other at some point. I know fighting game developers, they always like to meet and stuff. But I think as a popular character from a different fighting game franchise, Scorpion would be an extremely good choice, because like if you think of Mortal Kombat, you either think of Scorpion or Sub-Zero. That's why you could like interchange this here. You could put Sub-Zero here, but I think Scorpion is a little bit more well known. But he has a big issue. Mortal Kombat, as we all know, is a very gory game, very violent, and if they would put Scorpion into Tekken 8, they would have to censor him quite drastically. And I don't know how much this takes away from the character itself. They could like play around with him being from hell and then like some interaction with Devil Jin, maybe Kazuya because like he has a devil inside and everything. So there are a couple of possible interactions that could happen, like in the character intros. It could happen, so that's why I don't know if I put him at guest maybe because the next two are more fitting for the unlikely category. And then the last two characters, I want to put them together. I looked at the Bandai Namco website. I researched what franchises are belonging to Bandai Namco. And there are two that I came up upon. I think guest characters could fit into Tekken. The first one being Kamen Rider, and the second one being like someone from Super Sentai, or as we know it, Power Rangers. Kamen Rider, very popular in Japan, is basically like, how do I say it? It's like the bug version of a Power Ranger, if that makes sense. And I put the White Ranger like in here. I think the White Ranger is the most iconic, especially in his white, black and gold design that we have here in this picture. There is a chance Power Rangers and Kamen Rider belong to Bandai Namco. So this could be an extreme curveball. And maybe if you think about it, they could be put up here. So yeah, that's basically my current list. Everything else that you see in here, like every other character, is either already in the game or is a no shot, especially for season 3. I don't think that we will get Akuma. I don't think Gon for 100% not. There will be no Tiger, there will be no Ancient Ogre, there will be definitely no Noctis, no Negan. So yeah, these are the characters that are my personal call for season 3. You see characters that I think, like Tekken specific characters that will appear in season 3, and then I'm 99.999% sure that we will guess the character. And I think the 10 characters that I put in here have a chance, especially the 5 at the top. The 4 at the bottom, I don't know, seem very unrealistic. But I think for the top 5 there is an argument to be made. So if one of them gets released as a guest character in season 3 of Tekken 8, you can come to my video and say, you were right. You were absolutely right. You're so smart. I think this list is fine. You could do me a favor, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment which of those characters would you like to see in season 3 if you play the game, or which of those guest characters would actually make you try out Tekken 8 for yourself. And of course, I would appreciate if you would subscribe. This would help me a lot. Yeah, I hope to see you in the next videos. And if you click in the description below, there is a link to my Twitch channel where you can see me suffer live playing this game, or any other fighting game for that matter. And also my newly created TikTok account with some couple of short clips. Yeah, that's it for now. Hope to see you next time and have fun playing fighting games or any other game that you like to play.